Well, this is more than a contraception. I think it is revolutionary. It's good news for women and I guess for men and families out there as well. But last week, the Department of Health, they rolled out and announced a new contraceptive program in our clinics. So exciting news because it's a new method. It's called a transdermal implant. And of course, it launched on the 27th of February. The government rollout is out there. I want to know how it works, and it's now available at all public clinics. So here to tell us more about it and how it also works is Dr. Judith. Is it Kluger? Kluger, right. An obstetrician gynecologist from Stellenbosch University and also head of the family planning unit at the Tygerberg Hospital. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
When I hear family planning, I'm always very excited because it gives us new perspective as to how to go forward, when to have that baby, how to create or even to expand our family. But first of all, tell me about the new birth control method. How does it work?
Okay, well, first of all, it's an implant. I have a little demo to show you. It's literally 4 centimeters in length, 2 millimeters in diameter, and it contains a synthetic progesterone, which is slowly released over time. We implant it in your arm, and the progesterone that is released is very good at suppressing ovulation, so you don't release an egg. It also thickens the mucus of the cervix, which makes it impenetrable to sperm, and thins out the endometrium.
Let's get back to the basics. I mean, I've seen a few contraceptions. There's a few others that are a lot more invasive, you can call it. This is quite tiny. Where does this go?
Well, it goes on the inside of your arm. You usually use the non-dominant hand. And we put it in between the biceps and the triceps, which we call the bicipital groove. And it's about 8 to 10 centimeters from the elbow, and it sits under the skin in your arm.
Okay.
Yeah. And I actually have the applicator that we use to show.
And you would do this at your hospital, so a nurse would do it under local anesthetic or even your doctor?
So this would be the applicator that we use.
Right, and I see it in there as well. Okay, and then it goes into the arm.
Yeah, you'll need a local anesthetic. Currently, we are training doctors and nurses how to insert it, so preferably somebody who's trained to insert it.
Right. I want to get to how effective it is. I mean, is it effective in preventing pregnancy? Can it move around in the body? I mean, from the tricep, can it go anywhere else?
Well, it's the most effective contraception for women. The failure rate is 0.05%. Compare that to the female sterilization, which is 0.5%. Compare that to the pill, which is 8%. So it's basically 10 times safer than if you were sterilized.
Wow.
So, and if you look at people having unintended pregnancies, that's still a common problem. And often it's because they're not using effective, reliable contraception. So this is great, and we hope that it really decreases the unintended pregnancy rate that occurs in South Africa.
So it's called a transdermal implant. It launched, and that's what we're talking about on our Feel Good Breakfast show this morning. Does it affect women's health conditions? I mean, a lot of people don't want to go on the pill because they say, you know, it makes them bloat or it makes them feel a little bit unhappy. Is there anything like that? Anything negative that one...
Well, it is a progesterone-only method. So it's great for people where estrogen is contraindicated. So people with high blood pressure, who smoke, who have medical conditions, it's actually an ideal contraceptive method for them. And there are very few women who can't use this method. For example, people who have breast cancer, people who have undiagnosed bleeding, people with severe liver disease. But on the general whole, many women with medical conditions can use it, whereas compared to the pill, if you've got hypertension, it's actually advised not to use the method.
So if you go to your gynae or you're at your nurse and you want to do family planning, what do you ask for?
It's called Implanon Next. The reason why it's called Implanon Next is because the company actually did realize there were some concerns about implanting it too deep, because that was your previous question, can there be problems? In the previous device, you could insert it too deep into the muscle, whereas this handy applicator actually makes it very easy to use. I have used the older methods, and this is very doctor and patient friendly.
Love it, totally too. Thank you so much, doctor, for coming in and showing us how to plan that family, going ahead and making sure that everything is exciting. Well, there you have it. It's called a transdermal implant, and this is Espresso. We'll be back after the break.